Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, sister-in-law freaks out because she feels my BF and I are denying her child food. Very short update regarding my entitled dad and my ankle surgery. My 31M mom, 65F, harassed me. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Sister-in-law freaks out because she feels my BF and I are denying her child food. My boyfriend's family came to town for a week and stayed with us. We made sure to have clean towels, fresh sheets, a stocked fridge, etc. Unfortunately, 2 days after they got here, my BF got laid off. Ever since then, he has been really down in the dumps and grumpy. My BF's family doesn't have the best manners. They leave dirty plates behind, don't clean up after their kids' messes, and such. I tried my best to ignore it and just clean up after them when they weren't home. Today during lunch, we served lasagna. After we finished eating, my BF's sister got up and started packing lasagna for her kids to have for dinner. She packed what her kids left over and was adding more on top. They weren't going to be spending the night with us, so she wanted to have a quick and easy dinner ready for them. I told my BF that if there wasn't enough lasagna left, that I can order him dinner and to not worry. My BF got up and asked his sister how much she was taking because he wanted to make sure that him and I also have enough food for dinner. Again, he's been very stressed about money since getting laid off. She screamed at him, "How dare you deny food for my child," and picked her things up and left. Everything escalated out of nowhere, and she packed her things and went to another rental. She felt like we were denying her child of food. I began crying and ran into my room because, unfortunately, I don't do well in these types of situations. I grew up around an emotionally abusive family, and these events are really triggering for me. She told my BF that she did not feel welcome and she felt like we were being rude to her. Am I at fault for making her feel unwelcome? Or is she just an entitled parent? She said that I was super rude for making that initial comment in the first place, the one where I told my BF to not worry if we do not have enough food left. Wait, your boyfriend got laid off and his own family is being picky about the leftovers that aren't theirs? Their priorities suck. Please check on him, that's awful. Yep, and this is after my BF and I spent a few days treating the kids to milkshakes, pizza, etc. I still cannot believe she told us we didn't care about her kids and that we are taking food from their mouths. I'm making sure that my king is still standing strong, with a few back scratches along the way. Red heart. Your boyfriend's family sucks. Let them pack up and don't let them back in your home. His sister is a horrendous guest and frankly a shit person. I couldn't agree more. Unfortunately, my BF still plans on inviting them back and I feel like I have no control over that. It's his family and I don't want to cause a rift between them. That would be the last time my sister visited if she pulled a stunt like that in my house. The sheer entitlement is just appalling. I'd have some choice words for her on the way out. Denying her child food. What a moronic statement. The BF's sister was super rude for helping herself to the rest of your food without asking first. Your finances are tight right now and she had no business pulling that stunt. Actually, he should have either cut her visit short or asked her to reschedule it, citing finances/list job. NTA. Who in the name of hell helps themselves to their host's leftovers like that, especially if said host is suddenly poor? Very short update regarding my entitled dad and my ankle surgery. So this is a reply to this post. It won't be long but felt like talking about it. So my appointment is the morning after tomorrow. I've been getting everything ready for the surgery and rehab, and while I'm scared, I'm still confident that things will go smoothly. Well, my mom called me this morning to tell me that my entitled dad talked with her. He was planning on driving up 12 to 14 hours to get me and have me stay with him for the entirety of my recovery, but he couldn't drive up due to being unable to get days off from his job, and was wanting my mom to drive me down for him. She managed to get him off my back by fully telling him that I have more physical therapy appointments afterwards, and that she has full confidence in the recovery plan and that he needs to step back and let things go at my pace and not his. He also complained about having me move down to my birth state because he needs family, he can't do anything on his own, and she told him off that I've been doing much better than anyone could have predicted in the almost 6 years of living independently in my city. He didn't believe it, but he knew he wasn't gonna convince her to side with him, which is surprising. The main reason I posted this is because he was actually planning that. Planning to come up and take me to his place, without even consulting me about it. I'm sadly not surprised that he was going to try that. Horrified, yes, but not surprised. I'm just relieved my mom fully stood by my side and managed to get him to back off. I doubt it'll be for long and that he'll try to call and be back on his bullshit, but even in the off chance he actually does drive up to try something, I'm now mentally prepared to get the cops on speed dial should the worst outcomes happen, i.e. him trying to take me by force or trying to break into my apartment. You can alert the cops now that you're concerned your father might try to kidnap you based on what your mother told you, he said, and see what they say or suggest. I'm sorry you're dealing with your ED during your health crisis. It sounds like you really need to put him on an information diet, no matter how upset it makes him. If he should show up insisting you come home with him, remind him you're an adult and he can't legally force you to do anything. Also, make sure the hospital and rehab staff know about him and that you don't want to go home with him. Make sure only your mom and/or a trusted friend can make decisions for you if you're unconscious. Hope your surgery and recovery go well. Oh yeah, definitely telling the hospital staff that. Doubt he'll find time to drive up since he said he couldn't get days off, but I'm not taking any risks if he was planning that. An earlier comment you made stuck with me, you told him because he would get angrier later. You know what? At that point you do stop telling him things. When he gets mad, you cut him off from the yelling and tell him that these actions are why you don't tell him things and he has one chance to calm down where this conversation is over. And stick to it. He yells? Hang up. He can't ground you or take away your allowance anymore. He has lost his power as you have been taking care of yourself for 6 years now and he can't stand it. You don't have to put up with his treatment of you, so let him know that he will lose all contact with you if he doesn't behave. That's some good advice, thank you. Even if he's already gonna lose all contact with me soon anyways, it's still good advice. If you are a legal adult, and your sperm donor tries to force you to go with him, that is kidnapping. Press charges. My 31M mom, 65F, harassed me. My mom kept harassing me over text. She obsessively kept texting me to the point where I almost had to block her as she was disturbing my work. After I gray rocked her, she backed off. She has an obsessive germ phobia that's uncontrollable. No matter what I've tried to do to convince her of things otherwise, no changes take effect. Lately I've been spending less time around her in person. But she started all of a sudden committing telephonic harassment this morning. She also may have convinced me I was autistic when really it was just for attention. I do have a diagnosis of it but feel it's illegitimate. She said I'm not independent enough and need a group home, though I've been living on my own for almost a decade and have been just fine, because I didn't let the air filter guys know in advance I needed to use a special filter. She also has been stalking me, forcing me to turn on cameras and tracking devices. Any attempt to try to get them to be turned off fails and I can't control it. She also works for as an employee. I disapprove of this, but she refuses to resign, and firing her, while it would free me from this issue, I would be in an even worse situation if I did that. I'm feeling very lost over this. How does she force you to turn on cameras and tracking devices? She says if I don't turn them on she will call the police and tell them I'm abusive, or she starts making threats / gives the silent treatment. If you live in one house, move out ASAP and go and see. She clearly doesn't get the message of how disruptive her actions are towards you. You're an adult, live your own life. I live by myself and I stay away from her IRL unless I need something. The harassment occurred over text. Next time it happens, I'll immediately block her. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.